Hi everyone, welcome back to the CNATT channel, where we bring you the best tech tips and tutorials to simplify your digital life. Today we're exploring a fascinating and highly practical topic: how to create a virtual USB or hard drive in Windows 10. A virtual drive acts like a simulated USB stick that you can use for testing, file storage, or experimenting with disk utilities, all without needing any physical hardware. It's an excellent for learning and organizing data. Before we jump in, here's a quick look at why virtual drives are so useful. They're flexible, cost-effective, and portable. They're also perfect for safely managing your data or testing without risk. So whether you're just starting out or a tech enthusiast looking to sharpen your skills, this tutorial has got you covered. Stick with us and we'll guide you through every step. Let's get started. Creating a virtual USB drive or hard disk. First, we'll open Disk Management, a built-in tool in Windows. To do this, right-click the Start button or press Windows key X on your keyboard. Then select Disk Management from the menu that appears. This is where we'll set up the virtual USB drive or hard disk. When Disk Management opens, one of the drives is typically selected automatically. Be sure to click on an empty space in Disk Management window first. Now let's create the virtual disk file. In Disk Management, click on Action in the top menu, then select Create VHD. A Create and Attach Virtual Hard Disk dialog will pop up. Click the Browse button and select the location to save your virtual disk file. For example, you can choose your C or D drive and name the file something like Virtual USB, then click the Save button. Locate the virtual hard disk size field and click the drop-down menu next to it to select the unit of measurement such as gigabytes. Next, specify the appropriate size for your virtual USB drive or hard disk based on your requirements. For example, if you're creating the drive for general use, consider allocating a size between 8 GB for lightweight storage and 64 GB for larger files or programs. Choose a size that best fits your requirements. When choosing the format for your virtual hard disk, you have two options: VHD and VHDX. VHD or virtual hard disk. This format is ideal if you need maximum compatibility with older versions of Windows or third-party tools. It supports file sizes of up to 2 TB, making it a good choice for smaller virtual disks or when working on older systems. VHDX or Virtual Hard Disk Extended. This newer format offers advanced features including support for larger virtual disks up to 64 TB and better resilience against corruption such as power failures. It is optimized for modern Windows systems and is the preferred option if you need larger storage or better performance. In summary, choose VHD if you require backward compatibility or are working with older systems. Choose VHDX if you are using a modern Windows system and need larger capacity or enhanced reliability. This choice depends on your specific needs and the system where you'll use the virtual disk. When setting up your virtual hard disk, you need to choose between two storage allocation options: fixed size and dynamically expanding. Each has its advantages depending on your specific use case. Fixed size. What it does: allocates the full amount of space specified for the virtual disk immediately. For example, if you allocate 64 GB, the system will reserve precisely 64 GB on your physical hard drive or SSD, regardless of how much data you store on the virtual disk. Advantages: offers better performance because the disk size is pre-allocated and doesn't need to grow dynamically. Useful for scenarios where you want predictable disk usage and to avoid running out of space. Ideal for environments where speed and stability are priorities. Disadvantages: takes up the full specified space on your physical disk even if the virtual disk contains little or no data. Dynamically expanding. What it does, starts small and grows as you add data, up to the maximum size you specify. For example, if you allocate 64 GB but store only 5 GB of data, the virtual disk will use just 5 GB of your physical hard drive or SSD. Advantages: saves physical storage space by only using what's needed. Great for testing or scenarios where you're unsure of the final size requirement. Allows for flexibility in managing storage. Disadvantages: may experience slower performance as the virtual disk expands dynamically during use. It could result in physical disk space exhaustion if not monitored closely. Which option should you choose? Select fixed size if you have ample storage space and prioritize maximum performance and reliability. Select dynamically expanding if you want to conserve physical storage initially or experiment with smaller virtual disks. Ultimately, the choice depends on your system's storage capacity and intended use for the virtual disk. Once you've selected the options that suit your needs, click OK to create the file. Depending on the selected options, creating the virtual disk may take some time. Please wait patiently. The virtual disk is now created, but it's not ready to use yet. In Disk Management, find the new disk labeled Not Initialized. Right-click on it and select Initialize Disk. In the prompt, choose either MBR for compatibility or GPT for larger capacities or modern systems. MBR, Master Boot Record, ideal for older systems and supports disks up to 2 TB with up to 4 primary partitions. GPT, GUID Partition Table, designed for modern systems, supports disks larger than 2 TB and allows more partitions with better reliability. Once you've selected the option that suits your needs, click OK to complete the initialization. Now we'll format the virtual disk to make it usable. Right-click the unallocated space in the virtual disk and select New Simple Volume. Follow the wizard to set up the new volume. Partition size. By default, the wizard will use the full size of the virtual drive. If this meets your needs, leave the default settings and click Next. If you plan to divide the virtual drive into multiple partitions, adjust the size as needed before proceeding. Drive leader. Assign a drive leader. Windows will suggest one automatically, which you can usually accept unless you have specific preferences. Format the partition. Choose a file system, NTFS, exFAT, or FAT32. Note, the maximum size for a virtual drive formatted with FAT32 using standard Windows tools is 32 GB, even though FAT32 can technically support partitions up to 2 TB. To format larger drives with FAT32, you'll need third-party software. Set the volume label, the name of your virtual drive. Choose a simple descriptive name like virtual drive, which will appear in this PC aligned with the assigned drive leader. To speed up the setup process, keep Quick Format selected and click Next. Complete the wizard, click Finish and your virtual drive will be ready to use. If you plan to partition your USB drive into multiple parts and didn't allocate the full size of the drive for the first partition, right-click on the unallocated space in Disk Management, select New Simple Volume and create another partition. Once complete, your virtual drive will appear in File Explorer like any physical USB drive. You can now copy files to it, use it for backups, or test disk utilities. Detach and reattach the virtual drive as needed. To detach the virtual drive, go back to the Disk Management, right-click the virtual disk, and select Detach VHD. A confirmation message will appear. Click OK to confirm. After detachment, the virtual drive will immediately disappear from File Explorer. To reattach it later, in Disk Management, go to Action, Attach VHD, browse to your saved VHD file, and click OK. If you check the read-only option while attaching the VHD, the virtual drive will open in mode where no changes can be made in its content. This is useful if you only want to view or copy files without risking accidental modifications. The virtual drive will immediately appear in File Explorer. If you need to change drive leader of your virtual drive in the future, right-click on your virtual drive and select Change Drive Leader and Paths. In the new window, click on Change. From the drop-down menu, choose a new drive leader that is not currently in use. Click OK to confirm your choice. A warning may appear informing you that some programs may not work correctly if the drive leader is changed. Click Yes to proceed. Your virtual drive will now have a new leader assigned to it. You can access it using the updated leader in this PC. This method is useful for managing multiple drives or standardizing drive leader for easier access. Advantages of using a virtual drive. Flexibility. Virtual drives allow you to create storage solution tailored to your needs, whether for testing, backups, or organization. Cost effective. No need to purchase additional physical storage devices. You use existing disk space. Portability. Virtual drives can be moved between systems or shared easily without requiring a physical device. Data safety. Testing and experimentation on a virtual drive reduces the risk of damaging critical data on your main storage. Efficient space management. Dynamically expanding drives save physical space by only using as much storage as necessary. And there you have it. You've successfully created a virtual USB or hard drive in Windows 10. This versatile tool can help you with testing, organizing files, and managing data safely, all without needing any additional hardware. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to the CNATT channel for more tech tips and tutorials like this. Have any questions or suggestions for future topics? Drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.